Because the Sixth Amendment right to counsel typically doesn't attach until arraignment, delays between arrests and arraignments significantly disadvantage defendants. Since 1895, statutes have required prompt arraignments in federal prosecutions. However, a lack of penalties for noncompliance allowed law enforcement to ignore these statutory obligations without consequences. To address this problem, the Supreme Court invoked its supervisory authority to create new federal criminal procedure rules for the first time in McNabb v. United States. In 1940, 4 officers from the Bureau of Internal Revenue's Alcohol Tax Unit executed a raid at an illegal distillery owned by the McNabbs, a family of notorious bootleggers. Like many distillers, the McNabbs refused to pay costly federal taxes for making whiskey. The officers planned to intercept the sale, arrest the McNabbs, and seize their tax-delinquent inventory. Unfortunately, the McNabbs escaped during the raid, and Agent Samuel Leeper was fatally shot. The officers quickly located several of the McNabbs, including Benjamin, Raymond, and Freeman, and arrested them for Leeper's murder. The officers ignored a federal statute requiring law enforcement to take arrestees to a judicial officer for prompt arraignments and instead took the McNabbs to the federal building and detained them in an empty cell for 2 days. The McNabbs were subjected to multiple interrogations, lasting several hours without assistance of counsel, a right they didn't invoke and weren't advised of. Family and friends' visits were also denied. Benjamin, Raymond, and Freeman eventually confessed to roles in Leeper's death and were charged with second-degree murder. At trial, the McNabbs argued that their confessions were unlawfully obtained and therefore inadmissible under the Fifth Amendment. After a hearing, the district court ruled that the confessions were voluntary and admitted them into evidence. The McNabbs were convicted and sentenced to 45 years imprisonment. The Sixth Circuit affirmed the convictions, and the United States Supreme Court granted cert.